Hello, YouTube. This is the Galley La Podcast, and we are going to be discussing today episodes 44 and 45 of Jujutsu Kaisen. My name is Geboss, and your other host is Akainu Fanboy. And please like and subscribe if you enjoy our content. So, episodes 44 and 45. Last time we left off was with Kugisaki getting her eye blown out. And we cut to a quick flashback between the three main characters, Megumi, Kugisaki, and Yuji, of them just goofing around. They spilled coffee on Gojo's shirt, and I thought it was a nice little scene to have, because we didn't really get too much of them acting like this slice of life type stuff, because it was mostly just all action between them. And then the animators were foul, because they cut directly to a POV shot of Kugisaki's blown out eye. Whoever made that decision was they need to be put to task. They're foul. But yeah, we're gonna be skipping just talking about Kugisaki. Later on in the episode, we have the thing that she may or may not be dead. So what do you think about that?
I think she's dead. That's just kind of what the vibe I get from it.
Yeah,
that's just kind of where I'm at with it. Yeah, that's just my gut feeling with it, at least.
I thought it was weird though that Gege, the author, was specifically saying oh, it's not a 0% chance. She had her whole head blown out, but it's not a 0% chance that she's dead, or that she's gonna recover. But yeah,
I think it's kind of false hope a little bit, oh wait, no, she'll make it back, and then she's actually dead, kind of thing. Me personally, at least,
yeah,
that's the vibe I got from it.
Yeah, it's definitely, yeah. A lot of people have debated about that scene. But then we get Yuji completely out of sorts. He can't even comprehend what's going on. And there was a thing that they cut from the manga with in these two episodes. They actually cut some of my favorite narration from the manga. One of them being here, which was between Nanami's death and Sukuna's rampage. Itadori had lost his will a long time ago. And then we see Mahito using Black Flash against him, just giving him a beatdown. But were you surprised about the Black Flash?
No, not in particular.
Because we've never really seen a curse use it before. It's mainly just from the sorcerers.
Yeah, he just seems kind of broken. I mean, just everything. He's just how is he? I'm surprised, especially in the next episode, how powerful he is. It's just kind of crazy, And Toto showing up was
yeah,
really freaking hype. Just really, really hype, And I loved it, but I was kind of terrified though, because they had what was it? This episode was called Right or Wrong Part 3, right?
Yeah.
And I was just uh-oh. The first two parts, we lost two characters.
Yeah.
But so he got through we got through the third part. Okay, the fourth part is a little ambiguous about what might happen to him. You know?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was hyped when he showed up. Like him, just the tag team between him and Yuji in the first season was hype, and then here it's just more of that goodness.
No, it's great.
Yeah, and like I think he was the perfect person to like kind of bring Yuji out of the funk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the moment we chose to live life as Jujutsu sorcerers, our lives were no longer bound by such karma. Like, we have to live on for the people who have gone before us. Which, yeah. Also, I don't know.
Anti-Ghetto.
Basically, yeah. Basically, but I don't know if you caught it, but the first year who's with Toto is the younger brother of the one person who got stabbed by the sword hand guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the younger brother. They don't really bring too much attention to it, but yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of these 2 episodes are just lots of fights. This was the big climax that I wanted to see properly animated. And luckily they did it justice. But before we get into that, like the main talking about the fights, because that's going to be a majority of what we talk about. There's the we cut to the final remnant of Mechamaru, who's with Miwa. Yeah. So, I mean, we did see, like he said, like he split himself up into 3 with these little communicators, and we knew where the first 2 were. And he left the 3rd one with Miwa, which, what'd you think overall of this scene?
I would say I think this is one of my favorite scenes in the series, actually, to be honest. And I know that may sound pretty shocking, but I thought it was perfectly tragic and touching, and just like it was just super heart-wrenching. I think with Miwa's reaction, and he kind of like basically professed his love for her, you know, and he's gone and everything. And I thought it was just really tragic, and so I don't know. I thought it's something like very few shows I think can pull off, is like true tragedy and everything, you know. And I wasn't expecting to feel that way about Mechamaru.
Yeah, because he's kind of he has his moments, but he's not like a big character, which I think JJK does really well with its side characters, giving them good characterization.
Right.
Also, like when Mechamaru was like, "Oh, I made sure that everyone else was on different missions," and Miwa was like, "Why? Because I'm useless." And that goes back to like in the first season where she was like jokingly calling herself useless. So it like just like a throwaway line, like a running joke, it turns out to be like super impactful in that way.
Yeah, because she hasn't really showed them much in the way of impressive feats, and you know, she further feels powerless because someone she cares about is dead, you know, and this huge disaster is going on too, you know. And I think it's interesting because he still really cared about his team a lot, you know, so he wasn't like a full-on traitor, you know, he just kind of wanted to have his cake and eat it too, in a way. And it was just kind of more he gave in the despair and weakness, you know, which caused this whole thing. So I thought it was touching that it's bittersweet because it shows how much he cares for his team, but it's still like a shitty thing to do, you know?
Yeah. I also want to give props to the voice acting in this scene, because like I was starting to like tear up when Miwa started crying at the end, like because you can hear her
Oh, I agree.
in the next car over and everything. Like that was really like this was like a 1-for-1 scene from the manga, but like I don't know, just with the direction and the voice acting and everything, it hit a lot more watching in the anime.
Completely agree.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad that you liked that scene. I figured you would appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I thought it was like, yeah, it was one of those scenes that I got emotional about that I wasn't expecting to get super emotional about, you know? And contra Hunter x Hunter, like, they don't just kill off the character and then move on, you know, but they still kind of like, you know, focus on his death a bit, you know? So, because I know Itadori didn't really care about his death or anything, but it's cool to see kind of how his team's still affected by it and everything, you know?
Yeah. Definitely.
So, yeah, no, anyways, yeah, very good scene.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess we can just talk about like all the stuff we liked about the fight, because that was basically what it was this next 2 episodes. So what did you think about the fight overall?
Well, that was really well done and intense, because Mahito's just been stacking so many bodies and everything, where it's just like, how in the hell are you going to take this guy down a little bit, you know? And because he doesn't like seem broken on his face, you know, because if he just hits you with your hand, it's like that seems pretty avoidable, especially with someone like Toto, you know? So, but then you start seeing him pull all this stuff out of his bag with all the, you know, summonings and everything, and he's just kind of like pure chaos spirit and everything, you know? So I thought that was all pretty interesting.
Yeah. The one thing that they did add from the manga was the whole train part where they were escaping like the transfigured train. I thought that was an interesting addition. But
yeah.
But yeah, one of my favorite parts was when Toto, like they went all out for like Toto in these 2 episodes, like with him doing his black flash and just him like T-posing and while he's flying through the air with all the colors and everything. I mean, I like that just on a visual level, but on like a character one too, he's like, oh, I can't fall behind these other 2 who are also doing the black flashes too. And he musters up his ability to do it. Oh, and also the big 1-for-1, they copied the thing where they said they drew out 120% of their latent potential. That was one of the big scenes that like they wanted to, the manga readers wanted to copy 1-for-1, and they did it. It's so much so that it looks like they literally just colored the manga.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but I'm trying to see what else we need to talk about in 44. I think that pretty much covers it. And then we can get on to episode 45, which concludes the fight. But yeah, pretty much same thoughts on everything.
Yeah. Like my concluding thoughts on this episode, or are we moving on to 45, you think?
Yeah, 45.
Yeah. So basically the necklace part, I think that was the first time it was brought focus with Toto and everything, you know, where he's kind of messing around with it at the beginning of the episode. And so seeing it open, I thought it was really touching later on, you know, how that gets set up. But before we get there, like we see Toto lose his arm, part of his arm, like initially, which is like kind of came out of nowhere. So maybe you could expand on this more, because but it was he wanted to activate kind of like a partial domain, from what I'm understanding, right?
So Mahito did the same thing that Gojo did earlier. Because with Gojo's domain, he basically floods your brain with information, and Gojo didn't want to like hurt the people long term that were caught in it, so he only opened it up for 0.2 seconds. So Mahito's like, well, I can just do that too, and that won't give them the ability to like really react that much.
And that's how. So he gets stronger by just imitating people. It's seeming that more and more.
Yeah. Well, basically, I was just reading some stuff, and like Mahito, the name is like Ma is evil, and Hito is like we know from One Piece, Hito no Mi, the human fruit. So basically, his name just means like evil human. So he's the so he has the he's the embodiment of all the evil from humans. So I think he's like specifically like tapped into all that. So he understands humans more than other cursed spirits in that regard.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, so the way that it works with domains is that you open them and then you do your guaranteed hit effect on your curse technique, and Mahito did that all in one, because Toto's did the simple domain, which should theoretically have protected him, but Mahito did it so fast that he still got caught in the effect of the curse. So
Gotcha.
That's why like his arm started to transfigure and he had to chop it off so the rest of his body wouldn't.
Yeah, that's crazy, and which to an extent limits his ability too, right? You know?
Oh yeah.
Where it's not as powerful because he can't clap as much.
Well, yeah, I mean, we see how he navigates that, because he can only do it with two hands. He can't do it with just one hand, and like he did it with Mahito's hand, which like permanently like transfigured his hand. Like he basically got like third-degree burns on it.
Yeah.
And but yeah, and that's how he faked out Mahito at the end. Like it's basically like in Hunter x Hunter, like Netero during his fight with Meruem was like prayer is a acclamation of the soul, which was kind of mirrored in this with Toto. Like, oh, I don't need hands to clap. Applause is a acclamation of the soul. So yeah. But yeah, it was kind of confusing because the other thing I wanted to talk about, another piece of narration that was cut was relating to Mahito with the black flash. Like the narrator specifically said in the manga, like the sparks of black do not choose who they bless. Which I don't know, stuff like that I find really cool. Just like an omnipotent narrator kind of telling what's going on. Also, the whole like Toto's imagination beatdown was all anime original. That was not in the manga.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, you mentioned it earlier about like Mahito's like potential for everything. Like, did you expect him like bust out like, this isn't even my final form?
No. It kind of came out a little bit out of nowhere for me. Like I said, he has a big bag and he just keeps on bringing this stuff out, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's how it kind of felt when I was reading it. It's like, oh, he has this too.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, I mean, I was kind of keeping track from previous episodes because it did show like the cocoon imagery in the other episodes when Mahito was talking about his soul, which I mean culminated in this. But yeah, so what'd you think of that part of the fight? Just with all that, I thought it was kind of like you only had like half an episode with this form, so I don't know if it was wasted or it was cool, but yeah.
It didn't feel super impressive, to be honest. It was just kind of like there, you know. And especially how quickly they got taken down. Toto mentions like how the other forms didn't have high defense and just like high offense and everything, you know. So I didn't really think it was super over the top cool or anything, but yeah, I just kind of thought that was fascinating.
Yeah, and when Mahito got hit with the Divergent Fist, I sent you the panel from the manga, and I think it explained it a lot better, rather than not at all. Like, because it says like the Divergent Fist was like Yuji learned how to control it after his fight with Choso, which I mean, did you remember that he had that ability at all, really?
Not really. I mean, there's just like kind of so much that could be thrown at you sometimes, and so I'm just like I said, I'm kind of a noob when it comes to this, the manga power system and everything. So it definitely wasn't kind of broken down enough for me. Yeah. Well,
last time we talked about it was like in season 1, because it was like, oh, your whole your cursed energy is lagging behind your body because your body moves so fast that it's a double hit. But when you learn to control it better, it'll you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But I feel like that was kind of discarded for the whole Black Flash stuff that was happening in season 1 toward the end with Hanami. That got put like more prominently than Divergent Fist. So I wish they had done a bit of a callback to that to make it more clear. And so yeah, I really liked the final Black Flash that Mahito got hit with. I was rereading the manga because in the anime I was like, well, that's a bit over the top, like sending him flying like that. It's like, no, that's how it was in the manga too. Like just completely like blown out like that. And then another fan favorite scene got animated, the whole Yuji's speech to Mahito and the analogy with the wolves and the rabbits. So
that was pretty cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah, because it kind of shows like Yuji was trying to be like morally superior to Mahito, because the whole thing is kind of like sorcerers look down on curses because they see them as evil. And Yuji's just trying to say like, oh, I'm only killing these curses for the good of everyone, but now he's like, no, like you, I am going to hunt you down. I am going to keep killing you as many times as it takes. And
right.
Yeah, like that dark turn for the character you don't see as much from like other shonen stuff.
Like maybe like Gon from Hunter x Hunter, you know, like that's kind of like the only one I could think of, you know.
Yeah, but I feel like Yuji's is a bit more thought out.
Yeah,
because Gon just kind of flew into like an emotional rage because he's literally like 12 years old.
Yeah, I don't care anymore, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that whole thing. Yeah, and like even this harkens back to earlier with the fight with Choso. It's like Yuji saying like, I don't have to be the one to free Gojo, I just need to play my part. And here he's saying like, I'm just one cog in the wheel, which again, like, kind of highlights the whole like, he's not your typical main character. Not everything revolves around him. He's not the one who has to save the day at the end of the day. But
yeah, and it kind of reminds me of oh my gosh, blanking on the name from the girl that Ghetto and Gojo were bringing to get assimilated. I'm blanking on her name. Rico? No. Anyways, but just kind of like how she was kind of disposable too, right? You know, just like kind of for the good of the Jujutsu Kaisen, you know, just for the academy and everything like that, you know. So
yeah,
just like the push forward with the sorcerers, you know, and he just like kind of recognizes his goal is just, oh, I'm nothing but a cog in a wheel now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was Rico. It doesn't help that Yuta has Rika. But
yeah.
but yeah. But yeah, the whole scene with like the metaphor with the wolves and the hunting down the rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
It was good to see it animated. Because like, I don't know, it just shows that like Yuji's not one to be messed with, and shows like how pathetic Mahito is, and with all the stuff that he's done, it's really it's cathartic to see him like just running scared.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
No, so that was really satisfying and everything. I'm wondering if like this is like kind of a weird funk he needs to get out of, or is this going to be a permanent part of his character? So as me as an anime only, we'll have to see how that continues and everything. And I did like Toto kind of getting how he gets inspiration, you know, with his little necklace and everything. I thought that was really great.
Yeah.
And just, it's heartwarming to see a good guy friendship and everything, you know, and them getting inspiration from one another, you know. So Toto's just like a very wholesome person, you know. So
yeah, he's a fan favorite.
I did like that dynamic. Yeah, no, he's great, you know.
Yeah.
Just hope he doesn't die, because this is like fan favorites that are just getting annihilated right now. So
yeah, I mean,
but
he's still alive. He's there, but but yeah, I mean, end of the episode, we see Ghetto show up.
Roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah. So
and wait, real quick, but it just further solidifies Mahito is such a piece of shit. Like, he's just such a cowardly little bitch now, trying to get away and everything, you know?
Yeah. Tasukete.
Yeah. Just like, he's like, oh man, I'm gonna make you suffer. I'm so tough. I'm so powerful. And then he's just like crying and sniveling, you know?
Yeah.
Very Blackbeard-esque, you know?
Yeah. He's just a big bully who, like, when he gets called out, he immediately starts backing down.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, do you have any predictions about what's going to happen with Ghetto? Because last time we saw Ghetto, he was fighting Mei.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just where I'm at with it, you know, with her. Yeah, like GG, you know. Any abbreviation I could use right here. But yeah, so she seems to be gone.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. But But yeah, I'm just glad that they did this whole fight. They gave it the love it deserved. And yeah, only 2 episodes left, so that's gonna be really, really hype. Especially, I'm not gonna say anything, but I feel like you're gonna like the ending of the season 2.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm enjoying everything else, so I assume I'll like it, you know.
Yeah.
But it's kind of scary, like, quote unquote Ghetto is like just chilling, happy. Mei was supposed to like take care of him, and what we can tell, he off-screened her, you know.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen his abilities yet. We haven't really seen him do much of anything.
Yeah.
So getting some very strong vibes from him.
Yeah. Some menacing JoJo vibes.
JoJo. Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, I definitely enjoy both of the episodes. Both quite fire.
Yeah. But yeah, if you don't have anything else to say, yeah, really good episodes. Looking forward to the next ones. And yeah, please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't. And we should be coming out with plenty of good new anime content by the end of the year. So take care.
Peace.